Do a mic check, Marko. Not yet. No, not yet. It's not on yet. That dude just climbing up there. Give it a tap. We're going to get started here in about 60 seconds. So if you can hear me out in the hallway, come on in.
Testing. Can you hear me? Hello.
Okay, I think we're about to get started, everyone. So if you can, take a seat. We'll let people finish sitting down here for a few seconds. How's everybody doing this morning? Woo! Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, we've got a treat for you all today. We've got somebody sitting beside me here on stage who has done a lot of incredible work, and he's going to be taking us through a journey into his mind, into the math that he's rediscovered and pioneered for a lot of people today. So this is Mr. Marko Rodin, and there it is, Marko, that clout you were talking about. So Marko's going to get started. We're going to have a bit of a mix of a presentation. As you guys can see, we have a PowerPoint up here, and then Marko's going to go over to the interactive whiteboard, and he's going to be doing some drawings on there. It's not going to be able to project onto that screen, so if you would like to see those a little more clearly, we can give you guys 30 seconds to kind of move over to that side of the audience if you'd like to. That's going to be about a 45-minute presentation, and then we're going to open it up for questions. Maybe it takes 60 minutes, and then we have questions, and then after that, we will go to lunch. So, Mr. Marko Rodin, I'm going to hand the ball over to you, and the floor is yours. Let's hear it one more time for Marko.
Hello. Okay. We're going to be discussing vortex-based mathematics. I'm going to try and not steamroll over anybody. Math can be brutal. I don't have a conventional education. I don't speak calculus. I don't speak algebra. I barely made it through 7th grade, really. And they only graduated me to get me out of the school. So, the response from the audience is very valuable to me. And I know you usually wait to ask questions, but I don't mind if you had a question in a minute from now and walked up and used that mic. We can't record you from the audience, so you can't talk from your chair. But if you come up to the mic, what I'm saying is I'm extending an invitation anytime. It's not likely you'll take advantage of it, but I'm saying that I don't mind. Because this is a presentation for you, and how, if it has any impact or effect on you, then I've succeeded. If I can't do that, then I've failed. Beckett is going to keep me on the straight path. And I thank Robert, I thank Quest for Ancient Civilizations. I only have 45 minutes, so if you're interested in taking a workshop, then you should contact Ancient Civilizations. I've agreed to do it in the next 60 days here in Sedona. It'll be at one of the smaller auditoriums here, or it'll be a small thing, like 30, 50 people or something, if that many people respond. Okay, so contact Robert directly, and who is our host today.
Shout out to Robert Dakota. Let's go. All right, Marko, you ready to get started?
Okay. A lot of people went to a lot of trouble to make my presentation for me, and this represents art from dozens and dozens of artists. My philosophy is that too many chefs do not spoil the broth. A lot of the symbols you'll recognize: Rodin coil, Cosmati pavement with a torus in it. It's hard to see all this. This is Egyptian falcon, Bahá'í, the Day of God. That's the logo for the Baha'i faith that I designed. This is a torus showing how it's compressing and decompressing. So the Ancient of Days, Spirit is the fifth force, the Quest for Ancient Civilizations Conference, May 3rd, 2026. Okay, how do I do the next one?
We'll switch it.
Cool. Okay, so she knows my work better than me, and so she'll keep me current. Okay, so this is Baha'i scripture. It says, and we have only 45 minutes, and there's maybe, last I heard, 300 slides, so it's, we possess a science which should we convey but one word to the beings, everyone would be made to believe in the manifestation of God and his knowledge. That one word is the Aleph. The major religions, most recently, are in Aramaic, Arabic, Persian, Hebrew. Baha'i faith is Farsi. And it's called the mystic word. And everything's about intonation, breathing, mantras, meditation. And there's techniques or principles or applications that none of you are familiar with that are buried in the scripture, where it takes the human temple and turns you into an antenna for you to get divine guidance, inspiration, illumination. It's called the apex of consciousness. So next slide. In the Four Valleys, it says, this is the apex of consciousness and the secret of divine guidance. This is the center of the mystery. He doth what he willeth, ordaineth what he pleaseth. The eternal Decoqubit. So this is, comes out of religion. I've rediscovered it. I could say this is my discovery, but it's always existed. It was here before the Milky Way. It'll be here when the Earth's mountains are pulled, crushing flat, and we're sucked into the black hole in the center of the Milky Way. I took what's called the most great name of God. This is base 10, base 26, base 50. My students figured out why this works and what it is, and I'll be quoting them. I could call my colleagues because they're actually beyond me now. They're professors at universities. But it turns out that I discovered that numbers are real, that nature is expressing herself with numbers. Everything, this was known in Egyptology. Okay, I better not slow down. So I'm claiming this is a secret. I'm going to be teaching what the secret of superconductivity is. Superconductivity where you have no resistance, no parasitics, no random collisions. Essentially, I'm saying I have found perfection. Okay. Next slide, please. At the end, or somewhere deep in this, I have peer review from the director of Microsoft, Russell Blake. He was very kind. Go back one. It went a little quick. And I'm already taking too long on each slide. If I'm here, I'm here. These are all the primes. No. Okay, stop there. Base 10, 3 squared. That's the first true prime. 2 is not a prime. That's a man-made error. As long as the man-made errors, math has been standardized so all mathematicians can communicate. But as long as those errors are incorporated, we're going to be incapacitated and we're going to be on a course of destruction. And I found out how to get 0 back into the center, okay? And once you put 0 back into the center, interestingly, nothing ever goes through the hole. Everything defines the hole, 0, by going around the lip. It's an aperture, just like your eye. And what happens is when you violate 0 or abuse it, such as they do in pi, because you try and bisect a circle, on a this is called a toroid, or a torus, or a donut. The secret of the donut is the hole. So what happens is when they calculate pi, you can't go through the hole. You have to go, you have to be offset and deflected. It's a vortex well. Everything in our culture is based on that. Are you well? It's a vortex well. Or are you having fun? It's a funnel. That hole is critical, okay? And I'm going to be explaining the relationship of 0 to 9, apogee 9 we call it, because 9 represents an energy that we're not aware of yet today. In the scriptures, it's called spirit, prana, chi. In science, it's called monopole, inertia, ether, dark energy. Okay, so this is taking the primes, and every time you square them, you increase 2 conductors. Right now, all computers that we're using today are based on the binary code. And it turns out that I'm going to be showing you that the binary code is not binary. It's based on thirds. And my proclamations that I'm making, I know, are off the wall, okay? But I've taken the binary code, which is an endless freeway to nowhere, and turned it into a horse track. And I've shown that for every binary code, they must be in pairs. You can never have one alone. And the third component is a higher dimensional flux field. Essentially, my discovery, which was not made by me, it was made by Scott Gosselaar. His responsibility, he's a mechanical engineer, was to figure out, I took this out of the scriptures, I said in the scriptures it says this is the source of inexhaustible energy, free energy. And I said your job is to make this, and I put together a team of scientists. And it was grueling, and what he discovered is that the base 10, 1 through 9, is not one system. 0 is not a number, it's an absence. So base 10 is mod 9, there's only 9 numbers. And it turns out that it's 2 separate systems woven together. 396 is a completely different dimension and different world. It's a higher dimensional flux field than the 124.875. I'm all over the road talking when the slides do show this. This is the Bahá'í Temple in Evanston, Illinois. It's a beautiful, magnificent structure if you ever have an opportunity to see it. This is the Bahá'í Temple in Chile. So Bahá'í metaphysical technology, and by decrypting the most great name of God, found the Bahá'í faith sacred scriptures, I was able to create the toroid number map and tap into the hidden energy in the universe. So I'm saying I know how to obsolete the combustion engine or nuclear power. Next slide, please. Learn density mapping. Only vortex-based mathematics can chart the pathway of spirit from the unmanifest into the world of form and fully explain all that ever was, is, and ever will be in the universe. The math is completely predictive. It proves that there is such a thing as absolutes and fixed constants, that really, we still have free will, but there's nothing by accident, not even evolution. This math, I applied it to what's called the bioetheric template, the morphogenic field. I've actually found the secret of cellular communication on the microbiology level. Okay, next slide. So this is the name of God that I discovered. I call it God's light cone. All the knowledge of the universe is contained in this one symbol, this one shape, this fantastic supercoherence has existed since the beginning of time, but is yet to be harnessed by mankind, and the potential is truly staggering. That was actually said by the director of future operating systems, advanced operating systems, senior researcher at Microsoft, 𝗂𝗏 𝗏𝗏. He volunteered, he offered to me to be a bridge between what I discovered and mankind. Advanced operating systems is the most challenging part of Microsoft. So essentially that's where the number 9 is, that's where the number 1 is.
Do you want to draw it, Marko?
3, not yet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know I should be drawing, but I'm going to try and get farther into the slides because I can see I'm already like 10 slides behind where I should be for the amount of time.
Doing great.
This is where the missing 0 is. That's the 9 above it. It makes a perfect diamond. The reason the 3, 9, and 6, it's a very common mistake when people are promoting vortex-based mathematics that I see online, and I'm very grateful for the fact that this discovery has gone viral. But they connect it. It's not their fault. It's my fault because I don't do many presentations, and so it hasn't been shared. You can never connect it on the base. There can't be any horizontal or vertical line. It's only diagonal lines. Everything's a diagonal in our physical world because mass precesses. I obsolete the standard Cartesian coordinate system. I found God's own coordinate system, x, y, and z. You could have said 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, mod 9, reduced multiples of 2 to discrete numbers, but anyway. Okay, next slide, please. You can do, it works no matter what the control is. I'm not arbitrarily picking multiples of 1. This is the, I forget what this falcon's called again, but there you see it in Egyptology. The 3, Horus? Oh, here it is. It's called the, it's somewhere in here. Okay, but that's the 9, that's the 3, that's the 6. This is the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 as far as I'm concerned. And that's where the missing 0 is. It's called the Ba bird. There's more pyramids named Ba than any other name in Egyptology. Most of us don't know that. There's been books disclosing that. The Ba is the soul. It must descend upon the pharaoh within 3 days. That's the first half, the most great name of God in the Baha'i faith. Ba, in electromagnetic engineering, you have the BH curve. Ba is compression, H is decompression. At a later date, I'll be going into underpinning nested vortices. This is Baha'i scripture. Everything must needs have an origin, and every building a builder. Here again, the mystic word. Verily, the word of God is the cause, which created the most great name. I'm being very brief. Ancient of Days. It kind of dovetails with our conference. Okay, next, please. That's by Blake in late 1700s. Bounded infinity. Okay, so this is a straight line going on infinitely. A freeway to nowhere goes on forever. It doesn't. When you get to 64, it becomes 1 again. But I'll wait and show you on the board. So this is a beautiful mind. There you see the lazy 8 right there. And I put 3 points on each side of it. So for a total of 6 of the axis, okay, which you'll be seeing. Yeah, so keep me posted what's going on. Okay, so there's the 3, 9, and 6. Okay, thank you, Lisa. There's a 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Then it's back to 1, because that would have been 64, which is 10 is 1, 128 equals 11 is 2, 256 is 13 is 4, 512 equals 8, 1024 equals 7. I know it's difficult. 2048 equals 14 is 5. You can't leave this railroad train track. But there'll be other illustrations. That's the 0. 9 is an emanation. 9 never changes. It's just as 0 is always nothing. 9 is always everything. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. And with the toroid number map, what I have essentially have discovered unity. I have proven that there is such a thing as unity that's perfect. So again, recursion, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, but I haven't explained it yet really that well. But there's a hand, 𝗏24875, this symbol. This is all the knowledge of the universe, past, present, and future, is contained in this symbol. The center here is off-center to the circle. That's very significant when you go into quantum field theory and you're trying to deal with vacuum fluxations and how they create mass. By taking this, it took me 24 years, and turning it into a torus, a donut, which is a surface topology. No one's ever taken in modern times. I'm sure this discovery has been made by endless beings of the past. But by turning it into a surface topology, it's never been done before, where I'm able to incorporate a time component, a sacred geometry, a geometric component. Let's go to the next one. But it's, okay, so this is a 2D computer with a 2D binary code of 𝗏248, 1632, 64, 128. I'm saying this is a disruptive technology. I'm saying it's a game changer based on what the ancient knowledge, which I'll be showing you how it even relates to Egyptology, Baha'i faith. It's in every scripture. It's in the Torah, it's in the Bible. But I turned it into a repeating pattern from an endless highway to a horse track circuit, to a closed loop. Okay, next, please. So this is an application to processors that are being claimed. These are my colleagues and students. They need funding. They applied for a patent, 9B scalar wave next generation, okay, to make a processor up to 50 times, and it's probably understated, reduction of the power consumption. The whole thing about a torus is that it's a heat sink, our body's called the human torso, based on the word, again, torus, toroid, because it's based on in and out, compression, decompression. And a toroid has to maintain a constant temperature. It cannot go too high, cannot go too low, or it incinerates and self-destructs. That's the same as a black hole in the center of our Milky Way. It's bathing itself in planets and stars by imploding at the top, and as they turn into a hot gaseous plume of interstellar plasma and gaseous matter and shoot out a white hole at the other side where it decompresses, it's taking heat away from the core to maintain that black hole so it doesn't incinerate, so it doesn't self-destruct. We never finished this slide, which is how it replaces AI, colloidal cognitive intelligence. I've said so many things that isn't shown to you yet, but all motors run on toroidal coils. This is not a toroidal field generating coil, the Rodin coil. It is a poloidal field coil. It's completely different. Most people don't even know. And it actually is a super coherent field, okay? And it's used in DNA. It's used in any coil. Our body's this mortal coil. DNA is made out of phosphates. Okay, that's the whole backbone of that DNA double spiral helix. Phosphates always have a negative electric charge. Of course, with any negative electric charge, there's always an associated magnetic field. The major groove, that gap space, if you go on Google and type in major groove, you'll see this big empty space. It's not empty, it's a flux field. And it controls, with it, you could end all disease, not externally, but by going inside and using it to control cellular communication. You could produce unlimited food. There isn't anything you can't do with poloidal fields. This is the how we all know.
The latest result in machine intelligence, the 𝗏9000 computer, which can reproduce, though some experts still prefer to use the word mimic, most of the activities of the human brain, and with incalculably greater speed and reliability. We next spoke with the 𝗏9000 computer, whom we learned one addresses as Hal. Good afternoon, Hal. How's everything going?
Good afternoon, Mr. Raymer. Everything is going extremely well.
Hal, you have an enormous responsibility on this mission. In many ways, perhaps the greatest responsibility of any single mission element. You're the brain and central nervous system of the ship, and your responsibilities include watching over the men in hibernation. Does this ever cause you any lack of confidence?
Let me put it this way, Mr. Raymer. The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made. No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information. We are all, by any practical definition of the words, foolproof, and incapable of error.
Tesla said if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. Next slide. So it turns out that I make a thing called the Decoqubit. It's a computer that is omni-dimensional. It's the perfect hologram. It has superluminal speed of communication. And I'm still understating it. The saying is he who controls magnetism controls the universe. I say he who controls spirit controls the universe. Only magnetism can respond quick enough to respond. Spirit and magnetism are inseparable. When spirit is emanating from the center of mass, and it's from every single atom, it's a positive emanation. It's unique in that it travels in a straight line. That's why everything else is wrapped around it. That's why the universe curves. That's why everything bends. In science, that's called precession. And as that emanation goes out, only magnetism can give slippage and free play to it. By being able to use that magnetism in any way you want, once you have a magnetic field, you have unlimited electricity. This is a completely different way to create a magnetic field and to tap into it and harness it. So we'll keep going. I show the ratio. Say it again?
You said that's a great way to create it. How do you create it?
Except you're supposed to go to the mic. The camera can't hear you, and I can't repeat your question. But walk up to the mic for 1 second. Your question's fair game. I want to hear it. Or you can save it. You already forgot?
How do you make it?
How do you make it? I already forgot.
How is magnetism created through this?
Apogee 9 is the control. It's not 369, it's 396. Remember, 3 can never touch 6, 6 can never touch 3. It's a total optical illusion that everything is a duality. It's not male, female, it's not black and white. I know that's ridiculous. Because there's always something in the center. That's the control. That's invisible. The 3 and 6 are the yin and yang. With this math, you can see that invisible energy. And you can tap into it and harness it. The yin and yang is a duality, okay? Except there's a third part inside it, which is the 9. It's really based on thirds. 3 doubled is 6, 6 doubled is 12, you're back to 3. 12 doubled is 24, you're back to 6. 24 doubled is 48, you're back to 3. It looks like a duality. You never see the hidden invisible 9. A half of 3 is 1.5 is a 6. Half of 1.5 is 0.75 is a 3. When 9 is negative, 3 and 6 are both positive at the same time. It's a big accomplishment to know the polarity. 3 and 6 are both negative when 9 is positive. Okay, we'll keep going. The 0 is a Stargate portal because where that 0 is the point of positive emanation, where spirit is coming from. It is the W axis. I haven't shown you the other 3 axes, but I'm showing you the most important axis right now, which is the W axis. I can't do justice to it. Even I cannot wrap my head around this discovery. I only have the slightest glimpse of what it is and how it works, and it took my entire lifetime. So we'll just keep going. But remember, separating the 396 from the 124.875 changes everything. It's okay. Next slide, please. Oh, thank you. The same image, different slide. Perfection realized. It's just saying angle and ratio. See, the binary code, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, what is it doing on a pyramid? Except it doesn't have a base. What is it doing being wrapped around a triangle as a spindle? Okay, this is actually the control of that. That's because of the fact that the binary code isn't binary. When you see it on the toroid number map, we haven't even gotten to that yet, When I discovered it, it was shocking that I was dealing that binary codes can never come alone. They have to come in pairs. These circuits have to come, they're bifiliar. Okay, next, please. Now, I know that this is Greek. I know I'm just throwing everything at you. The diamond, the hexagon, and triangle are all in phase. Same phase, actually. Okay, next one, please. Spirits, WX is the source of all motion, vibration, and time. Not making it up. Found the source of time. Next, please. That's what I already said. Circuits, there's two of them. One of them's positive one of them's negative one. They go in opposite directions diagonally. You'll see that soon. 3 and 6 respond to the 9. 9's the control. It's omnidirectional, the 9. Omnidimensional, it's omniscient, it's omnipotent. Spirit is irresistible. It penetrates everything. It's the source of all motion and time. The 1,2,4,8,7,5 is the material physical world. It's the concrete world. It's the world of mass. And it can be anything. We'll follow this pathway as it goes. It's maximum acceleration. It can be electricity can superconduct. Air can superconduct. It can be any continuous medium. It can be water. It can be a solar system. Our solar system, as it accelerates and goes into the vortex at the black hole in the middle, everything is following this 1,2,4,8,7,5. Mitosis, everything in biology. Okay, next slide, please. Now, I know I'm abusing you because I'm just saying so much, okay? This is the great attractor, the Lorentz butterfly. Looks, you see it's a matchup, but the patterns match. This is a bounded infinity. Okay, next. Oh, do we have one other rug? The other one, is it in the car? Oh, I said only bring the 3 rugs. Okay, I forgot I had a 4th one. Guess we're not going to see it. It's woven because the purpose of our conference was to show to maintain the theme of what the ancients knew, of how it was lost information, or they didn't feel that it should be shared with the generality of the population because we would desecrate it. So it was kept secret. But I have a rug with exactly an antique rug with this information. They knew it. Yeah. It's a Persian rug, Afghani Persian rug. Okay, next slide, please. It's in the car. If anybody volunteers, I'll give you my key, but I can't let Brian leave. I need his help. Okay, the dandelion puff principle. This is a 396,693. It's because it looks like a spiral or diagonal, but there's a straight line emanation coming from the inside out, and it doesn't bend from the ID to the OD of the torus. And this is what I'm tapping into, and nobody's been able to see it, and there's no technology sensitive enough to observe it. Okay, next, please. I'm saying that spirit is God's neurons. I'm saying that what I found for the world of creation, God is omniscient, omnipotent, untrammelled, and I don't claim to have a grip or a handle on God. But what I am saying is that in the world of creation, the physical material world that we exist in, that I've been able to reverse engineer it. And in every world, there is an emblem, a sign of God's perfection, of his handiwork. And so I'm claiming that I've been able to tap into spirit. And okay, next. God's archetypal brainwave encephalogram pattern. So this is the first time you're clearly seeing the circuits. Okay, one's going that way, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. You can't really see it, can you? It's too little. And then it's going this way, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, and then you have the 3, 9, 6 over and over again, the flux field. There's nothing there. You leave it alone in between the conductors. And those circuits aren't wrapped side by side. They're gone in spires. They go many times around before they ever hit side by side. And it creates a harmonic insulation. And that insulation keeps the electricity from short-circuiting. Even though you can take two conductors that are not insulated. They don't have shellac, they don't have rubber, but they can be side by side, and they will not short out, because I call it an electron harmonic shear. And I'd have to explain it in greater depth, but I'm not going to take the time. But that toroid map was shear 1. Again, prana, chi, tachyon, monopole, inertia, ether, soliton, dark energy are some of the many names for spirit. Negative numbers, black tiles; positive numbers, white tiles, because they're being created tangentially from the inside out. This is going to be pretty hard. This is the first axis. This wasn't meant to show it, but it's so easily shown, I want to show it. If you look at the black tiles, they're all going down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. The white tiles are going up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. That is different than the tiles horizontally. There's no redundancy. If there's any redundancy, this thing would be wrong, and there cannot be any omission. So horizontally, it's multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30. That's why you have a 7. 30 is a 3. 35 is an 8. Backwards, it looks like numerology, but in computer science, it's called decimal parity. 4, 8, 12. That's a 3. 16 equals a 7. 20 equals a 2. 24 equals a 6. 28 is 10 is 1. What is happening is I'm taking, what you're about to see, the polar number pairs or mates, and I'm showing that the universe has its own multiplication table, but it's 3D, whereas when we learned as children in elementary school was 2D and was incomplete, or worse, it was wrong. Okay, keep going, please. So again, I'm saying nature has its own multiplication table. Okay? So the dandelion puff principle is the 396693. It's so important, and this is the moment when it's rarefying, piercing the torus skin. So I'm being redundant, I'm repeating it a lot of times. Kinetic waves of 9. So this is going to be a pretty good demonstration. What is happening is that you can take any number on this toroid number map, and it's essentially, it's the same as the classic physics book example, where you drop a raindrop into the pond, and it makes these waves reverberating, you know? And so what happens is whatever numbers you take around them will equal the number in the center. So and the point of this is that there's a kinetic energy in this map that can be harnessed. This is showing that there's a potential to do real work that nobody ever even envisioned and dreamed. When you say numbers are real, they say, what are you talking about? Have you lost your mind? Okay. I'm using numbers to pinpoint the fields of magnetism, the flux of spirit, and the electron moment, so that I can get rid of friction and parasitics. And let me think for a second. And so you're going to see a demonstration now of shock waves. This is shock waves. So go ahead. So this first row around that 9, if you add them up, will equal that 9. Okay, go back. Well, it doesn't matter. Just do it. It's too, is it, okay. Is it working? Next slide, please. Oh, it's working up there. Thank you. Okay, so what you're seeing, I'm not blocking your image, am I? Okay, is add 6 plus 5 equals 11. You could then say 11 plus 7 is 18, but I'm just going to say 6 plus 5 equals 11 equals 2. And then 7 and 2 equals 9, 9 and 8 equals 8. 8 and 3 is 11 is 2, 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 and 1 is 9, and 9 plus the number in the center equals 18 equals 9. So it just made a wave, a shock wave. Next one, please. Oh, this is a worksheet for me to show it, and this is showing numbers of polarity. Oh, good. Okay, will it do it and then it just stop? So if we do the second ring around it, okay, and I add up all the numbers, they will equal 9 again. 9's always invisible, but and it'll equal the number in the center. That would have worked with any number you've chosen. And the important critical thing is, just as you see 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, if I have 20,000 9s, I must have 20,000 8s, I must have 20,000 7s. I can never have any one number more amount of times than any other number. That would be showing bias. And this has to be totally impartial. And it only works in a prime number squared based system, because primes in the world of mathematics, or the physical world, are the emblem of God, because they're indivisible. And this particular toroid number map, and there's 3 for mod 9 base 10, is perfect unity. And it's revealing, and it's indivisible, and it's completely perfect mathematically. You haven't seen my peer review, like from Microsoft yet, but it's unbelievable. Essentially, they say I've done something that they thought was impossible mathematically. I've found perfect supercoherence. Okay, so we can keep on going more rings. Do you want me to add up? I leave it up to you. Do you want me to add up that green ring or not? Or we got the point? Okay, next one then, please. Because we'll never get through all these slides, so we have to be expeditious. Okay. So this is showing the kinetic energy of the toroid map, and it'll be up there. That time yeah. That's Newton's cradle, and that's what those numbers are doing. They're all passing those shock waves. It's how I position the numbers. No number it's the only time that that you've ever seen numbers positioned in such a way is that they have perfect uniformity to reveal an invisible energy. It's very hard to describe what I'm sharing. For me to find the right words is a huge challenge. Polar number mates. Okay. So 1 and 8, I'm sorry, the yellow's hard to see. Probably should never use it like that. Our number mates are on the same horizontal line. That has an axis down the middle. I'm about to explain you very important precepts and optical illusions. The optical illusion, because you can have a center line down the center, and the right and left are a mirror like a butterfly. It has symmetry. It's a key property of physics. It's called parity, bilateral symmetry. Okay, our bodies are based on it. Everything's based on it in physics. And it looks like a duality. That 1 and 8, that 7 and 2, that 4 and 5 are the same stratified horizontal line, but they're not a duality because they're separated by 3. To get from 1 to 8, if I go 1, 2, 4, 8, that's 1 to 2 is 1 step, 2 to 4 is 2 steps, 4 to 8 is the 3rd step. Everything is separated by 3, not by 2. It's all an optical illusion. Go backwards. A half of 1 is 5, which is 0.5. Half of 0.5 is 0.25. Yes, I'm able to do this in any form of math, including fractions. Half of 0.25 is 0.125, which is your 8. It was 1 to 5 is 1 step, 5 to 7 is 2 steps, 7 to 8 is 3 steps. Each one of those numbers that are horizontally aligned, like our eyes, because light is polarized, okay, and everything is polarized by this system, okay, is separated by 3. So you're not used to this kind of a multiplication table. This is how we should have learned multiplication series in elementary school. Multiple of 1s is just +1. But I'm not going to do multiple ones. It's too hard to see. I'm going to do multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I reduce it to a 1. 12, 14, 16, 18. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. But 2 plus 7 equals 9. And 7 is the last number before 9. So we go all the way over there to that 7. 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. I know 7 is going to be the polar mate because they're the same distance from 9. And that's a tempo. There's a hidden timing in all our math that nobody taught you about. And that timing is critical for making free energy. And so now I go over to 7. 2 7s is 14 is 5. 3 7s is 21 is 3. 4 7s is 28 is 10 is 1. 7 times 5 is 35 is 8. It's just going to be the same pattern. 8, 6, 4, 2, 9. They're mirrors, separated by 3. Okay? because to get it horizontally across, you got to go 3 times around. 4 and 5 are mirrors. It's too light. It's hard to see. But it's 4837261159. Next one will be on the other side, 5162733849. I know I should explain it better. I think because they're so hard to see, I'm just going to move on.
Well, Marko, I think this would be a good time to pull up the whiteboard and draw this. What do you think?
I can't hear you that well.
I said, I think this would be a good time for you to draw this.
Well, okay, I'll jump into drawing something, but do another slide.
Did everybody get this? Show of hands who understands essentially where these horizontal, what Marko is saying
That's
about
my old friend that we spend endless hours
mates.
together. That don't count.
Draw it, Marko.
What, you want me to show him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me see the next slide before I show him.
Okay.
Just to see if I don't have any supporting, because I try and do it with boards, but I like to draw. Okay, next. Alice through the looking glass mirror. Next.
So then we're getting into powers of 10.
Oh,
So before we get into powers of 10, do this. Sorry to override you here.
he's overriding me. That's his role. I asked for it.
Okay, here we go, Marko.
Okay,
You got a little bit of time.
command performance. Okay, by Beckett. 9, 3, 6. I could have done, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, might as well make it as hard on myself as I can. Let's do 7, multiples of 7. 1.
Start with the basics, Marko. Start with the basics. Start with 1.
No. It's too beautiful.
But not everybody's going to understand the beauty of it.
No, be patient, be patient. I'm drawing. You asked me to draw, I'm drawing. 1, 7 is 7. It's very important that it's one step from 9, because remember, 9 is the axis and the control. This is the secret of the gyroscope. The gyroscope is another example of God on the third dimension. So 2 7s is 14 is 5. So it's 2 steps. I really got 1, and I got 2. It's just that I'm doing 7 now instead of 5. You understand that?
Okay.
You do.
Yes.
The litmus test is you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. There's 3. 3 times 7 is 21 is 3. 4 times 7 is 28 is 10 is 1. 7 times 5 is 35 is 8. See how the number mates line up? So 8 and 1. 7 and 2 are going to line up. And 5 and 4 will line up. Okay, so that was 7 times 5 is 35 is 8. 7 times 6 equals 42 equals 6. Okay, I could have written a little 42 there. This is a circle. 360 degrees divided by 40 equals 9. 40 degrees each number. And so that was 7 times 6. 7 times 7 is 49, which is a 4. There's your 5 and 4 mirroring. And 7 times 8 is 56, which is 11 is 2. 7 and 2 are mirroring. They make 9. Okay, but it doesn't, it's an illusion that we've actually changed anything, no matter what the multiples are, because there's an underpinning geometry to all this, where spirit is reticulating everything. That's embedded in everything, and it can't exist without it. So now I go 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8. Don't know why I did that. 8 to 7. Touchy. 7 to 5. 5 to 1. There it is. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. There's your binary code reduced to discrete numbers, 6 discrete numbers. Most importantly, there's your 396, which is another world and another dimension. There's your missing 0. That's what we wanted to do. And now he wanted me to do multiplications. I'll start with 1. Multiples of 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But that's 1, 2, 3. It just starts all over again if you're just looking for a number pattern. I'm only trying to show you a number pattern. What's the advantage of knowing the number pattern? Because you can create what's called a diffraction grating with number patterns. I call it a number interferometry. And you can actually then see the electrical properties of mass. You can see the higher dimensional flux fields through this diffraction grating. It's a tool that I developed. 1 8 is 8, 2 8s is 16, equals a 7. It's got to be the same pattern. There's 9, 8, 7, and there's 8, 7, so it must be a 6 right there. And 3 times 8 is 24, which is a 6. And 4 8 is 32 is a 5. No point in me writing it unless you can see that mess. 40 is a 4. 48 is 12 is 3. 56, 11, 2, 64, 10, 1, 72, 9. Same pattern, everything starting from the inside out. It's being created from the inside out. In other words, we're all tethered to the primal point. That's what it's called. That's what it's called in the scriptures. It's literally the epicenter. But it's off-center to the circle in the symbol. And that's very important. And it becomes XYZ in its cycles. It's unbelievable how this works when it's applied. I'm just going to stick with what Beckett wanted me to do. Now I got 4 and 5. I got a royal mess here, I know.
You want to reset?
Huh? What do you? You want to clean it up? Oh, okay. Sounds good to me. Where do I go to change my color? I'm already changed? I'm already changed. It's not supposed to be a dashed line. I'm just going too fast. This is one of my older boards. It was easier for me to move. I had to move it, so I did 2 things at one time and moved it and brought it here, and now it's going somewhere else. So he wanted me to do 1 and 8. Remember, we have something invisible here. Of course, you know this already. I make little BBs, little dots. Okay, so there's your 9, your 3, and your 6. This is the source of the whole thing. Okay, back to the other thing. Okay, so let's do, and I take, this is, so simple. Okay, and it's much easier understood when you know family number groups and when you understand what this is and why it works this way and what it is. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this will be 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, which equals to 12 is 3, 56, 11, 2, 64, 10, 1, 72, 9. The exact same pattern, everything starting from the inside out. But no one ever figured out that this becomes a non-Cartesian coordinate system that maps 3D space and the inverse square law perfectly, if you know how to use it and what to do with it. Man invented his own language. He invented calculus, he invented algebra. He tried to make it coincide with nature and physics. He never thought that we had the tools. So this is ancient civilization. We've had these numbers for a very long time, many different civilizations. And these numbers actually make a lattice or a matrix. That explains everything. Okay, I did what he wanted. I couldn't do 7 and 2. Do you want 7 and 2 too?
Yeah, do 7 and 2, and then we're at
Okay.
12:30 already. I'm going to ask you a question about where this stuff...
2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
Does
That was
everybody
the
see
x-axis.
how this...
This is the z-axis, which I have to show you how to see it. I don't know if he's going to let me get to it. 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2, 9 is the mirror of 2. And that's multiples of 7, 7, 14, 21, 28. And 4 and 5 we did before, but 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, 9. 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. I need to get to the toroid number map. Next image, please.
So, Marko, we're at 12:30 here. So you've been up here for an hour. We're going to get you to the toroid number map. Got all that? Got it? There will be.
That's why Robert's going to hold a workshop. It's from 9 to 6. It's 8 hours long, because this cannot be done in this way. This
We'll
is
do-
why I typically don't do public presentations, because it's better to let the images stand on their own feet and speak for themselves. It shouldn't really be conceptual. Okay, where did I get this from? One, it's not up there? Is it working up there too?
We've got Chester Gold up
Catching
there.
up. So, where powers of 10, they said we count in 10 fingers. We don't. I really didn't want to do this simple of a presentation. This is just too fundamental, but this isn't 10. There's an axis down the middle. I can hide one hand behind the other. Again, it's back to parity, bilateral symmetry. Powers of 10 have nothing to do with 10 fingers. What it comes from is this was a 1. I'm not going to write on this. I'm just going to keep moving. This was a 0.5. Remember 5 was over there? That's now 5/10. So I'm going backwards. This is 0.25, 25 hundredths. 1 times 10 is 10, 10 times 10 is 100, 10 times 100 is 1,000. That's 0.125, or 125 is a fraction thousandths. You don't go around the circle. Thank you. There it is, 0.062. You go around the lip of the hole, come out the other side, you're inverted. That's why it's a mirror. It looks like an egg beater. It's an egg beater, okay? It's a cosmic grinder. That's how the universe works. It's a melting pot. And you come out the other side down here, and now you're going in the reverse direction. First I was going this way, now I'm going the reverse direction, and from 0.125 it's 0.0625, or 625 10,000ths. What was that? That was 5/10. It's a colander, it's a sieve. It's sorting every mathematical function. It's the ultimate Turing machine. Tens are always at the bottom. No one ever thought that you could take every known function in mathematics, every known calculation, every formula, every equation, and combine them all together. It does exist. This was the legend for it. It's like the schematic. This is not it being applied. This is just, you might say, the most knowledge and information compressed in the smallest amount of space. When it's applied, it's in the toroid number map, which I call the Decoqubit. So we'll do one more example. 0.0625 goes to 0.03125, which equals 11, which equals 2, or that's 3,125 what? 100,000ths, and there's 2,500. hundredths. The hundreds are in the middle, and the ones are at the top. This went from 1 to 1,000 to 1,000,000 to 1,000,000,000. Again, I have a sieve. I have a cheesecloth, and I'm sorting out everything known in math.
So the same number pattern that Marko just drew when he was showing the 1 and going all the way around the number map is another version of that shown as fractions over multiples of 10. So when you have 1.125, it's in the same position as the 8. And when you have the 0.625, it's in the same position as where the, the 4 is.
Correct.
And yeah, so as you go around this, the same number map that he was drawing there is represented in this halving sequence on both sides. So, I interrupt you here, Marko, but we have lunch coming up here, and I want you to say something about, we talked about this the other day, about how this does connect ancient civilizations. What structures, what things have encoded this? How is this utilized?
Okay, glad you asked. There's a tori in Japan. Again, torus, toroid, root word. Tor means hole. There's the hole right there in the dream catcher. This map and this hole needs illustrations. I'm not going to try to verbally or conceptually explain it. Conceptually is not, math should not be conceptualized, it should be seen. Let's keep going. The Great Pyramid, this was done by Professor Nelson. I'm going to be very brief on this, and it's impossible to be brief. J.J. Hertek said he was taken up by aliens in the Keys of Enoch and given a mathematical formula of 6 numbers. When he looked out the spaceship window, he was on a joyride. He saw ribbons of light going across the solar system and into the universe. And he asked the aliens, what is this? And the aliens gave him this 6-digit number code. And Professor Nelson, plant pathology, University of Hawaii, Manoa, recently ascended. He was my best student. I gave him a diploma. even though I don't got an education. And what he did was he said he cleared his mind. He took that code out of that book, and he'd learned this math so well, vortex-based mathematics mastered, we call it, that he was able to know what numbers went in between each number. You take the quad-ruled piece of paper, which is squares, you rotate it 90 degrees, it becomes what I call diamond quantum tiles. It becomes diamonds, which is accurate. You get 100% more data when you use diamonds instead of squares, but that's a subject in its own. And so go back, well, go anywhere you want. So what happened was he discovered that the steps of the pyramid are made out of the same circuits of the torus. There's a 396 in between the two circuits. This one's going to the right, this one's going to the left, but now they're horizontal, whereas on the torus they're a spiral or diagonal. It's a profound discovery because it shows that the pyramid and the torus are extremely 180 degrees opposite of one another, that there's a connection and relation, and they're both energy devices. Remember, I'm saying that with this math, you can use this, the pyramid or the torus, to go put it in a briefcase, go to any mountaintop where there's no infrastructure of wires or anything else, and you can have unlimited electricity. It's self-contained. You can go anywhere in the universe. You can use it as a spaceship because it's a nozzle, and you don't have to return back to Earth for fuel. It makes mankind intergalactic citizens. It makes mankind the custodians of the universe. And you see, and I'm an ecologist and environmentalist, so it's a scary prospect.
Okay, Marko.
Eye of Horus is this discovery. When you take each part, if you go to Google and you type in Eye of Horus and put 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, you'll see each part of the eye has a number in Egyptology. It was the most commonly found at archaeological dig sites talisman in Egyptology, okay? And that is the code that I've cracked and applied to hardware.
Looks like we've got a question, Marko.
Okay, but
Yes,
here
sir.
we go.
I have a question, kind of relating to the 𝗵𝗂 with this.
The echo's hard, so I'm coming over so I can hear.
Yes.
He said the 𝗵𝗂.
Yeah, and I kind of wrote it down because I'm kind of trying to understand.
Look at them so they can see you.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand everything myself, and so under my limited understanding, what we just kind of went over.
A lot of people will be very grateful that you brought up the 𝗵𝗂.
Thank you.
So take your time.
Okay.
What's your first name?
Brandon Brooks. Do you see the doubling and halving sequences as numerical representations of the two opposing spin directions of the 𝗵𝗂? And if so, does the 369 axis correspond directly with the 0-point column, what some people call the Pranic tube, that derives consciousness to ascension?
Okay. Just because I discovered this does not give me the definitive authorship to say what's true and what's not true, okay? But I don't mind trying. And so, no. Because you're looking at a triangle, two triangles counterspinning, there's two types of underpinning nested vortices. So remember, anything that, well, it could be. Well, see, the problem is I always associate the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 as the circuits and the 3, 9, 6, 6, 9, 3 as a triangle or hexagon or diamond. Okay. But what's so profound and fascinating is that the parallel to the binary code is these flux fields. This is what this thing has done. It's a perfect parallel, and it's profound. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, and there are always two circuits that go in opposite directions. The 396 actually is 6 numbers too. The 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 is 6 numbers. The 396, if it's not 369, it's 396.
396, yes, sir.
If you just went positive numbers, it would look like 369 because every other number is positive. But so The 369 is really 6 numbers too, because it goes 369. It's called palindrome, but it isn't really, because it goes into the volume, into the inside of the torus. So you have 396, 693, and they're compressing and decompressing. And that takes us to vortices, an underpinning nested vortices. Everything in the universe is controlled. The spaceship is controlled by these underpinning nested vortices. I call them microvortices. And there's illustrations of them here. So what happens is, we think of there being 2 kinds of vortices, compression, decompression, black hole, white hole. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about, on the torus, the underpinning nested vortices, the boundary conditions of them are staggered, herringbone. When we build a brick wall, we stagger it. But on DNA, the underpinning nested vortices align for mitosis, for information duplication and encryption in mitosis.
Yeah.
This is the secret of life. This shows that life is not random chance, haphazard trial and error. This mathematics shows that there's an all-coherent intelligence guiding evolution. And that spirit is God's neurons, that this is God's sensory feedback for our environment, for our physical world that we're existing in. Mm-hmm. And so those underpinning nested vortices in DNA, which are aligned, are completely different. They create DNA unraveling, duplication, whereas on the torus and here in the pyramid, they're all centered, staggered, and they focus where the hot spot is. And they take the heat and they dissipate it into the outer environment to sustain. It's literally a respiration. It's literally a breathing. In scriptures, it's called the living waters. So anyway, that's from J.J. Hurtek and Professor Nelson. Kyan helped me finish this document. And as far as the Merkabah goes, a lot of people here study on it, and I am not really that well informed on it. And it's very sacred and very important to everybody. And, you know, but that's just not, that's just not my background. It's not my strength.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate this. Thank you for your contribution to everything, sir.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Give it up for Marko Rodin, everybody. Marko, we're going to wrap up here. I'm sure you will be around to answer questions. I know it's never enough time, but thank you. It's a gift. You're a gift to us. We appreciate all the hard work that you're doing. We appreciate everything you've done.
Thank you, everybody.
So if anybody wants to go to your lecture, there'll be an announcement sometime in the coming weeks with Robert Dakota, and
just contact
Mr. Dakota.
Robert Dakota. He'll book you.
Okay, here we go. All right, everybody, we're breaking for lunch. Thank you for sticking in there with us. It's a gift, and now we have about an hour and 15 minutes to eat. So get your food. Thanks, everyone. And shout out to you, Marko.
Thank you.
Peace.
Great job, man.
illustration depicts the collision.
We're showing full batteries still.